beautiful here in Argentina. It's about 11 p.m. here, and so I found this new place to talk. At night it's better to record because it's fresh. There's a nice breeze. During the day it's really hot, so yeah, you sweat a lot and you don't really feel like doing. Also, there's a lot of noise and cars. And anyways, where to start? I guess it's a new year now, right? 2021. I'm still wondering if it's, where are we right now? My conclusion is chaos. Up to last year, I think I still had some hopes of doing things. Now it's just chaos and how to survive in chaos. And today, for example, I went to the police station here in Argentina, because the more you work, the more lawsuits you have. That's how the world is today. So you work, and instead of just getting your payments or thank you, no, you do not. You enter into a world of lawsuits and police officers, and security, police reports and everything. So I go there once again to a new police station. Now it's Argentina. Argentina is the worst case of all because on all my lawsuits, because this is such a simple case. I had between my mom and my dad, I inherit about like 20 properties, okay? Between houses, apartments, warehouses and stuff. For both of my families, the Irish Argentinian and the Italian. Both from transportation, cars, railroads, that type of industry. Used to be very prosperous here, and okay, not anymore, but anyways, we have this property. So that's why I still have 4 properties in Argentina. And okay, so 10 years ago, my auntie passes away, and then I hired an attorney that I already knew that had done previous work for me and inheritance. Anyways, after 10 years, a simple inheritance of 3 properties in perfect conditions, and 2 of them even rented, so they even have an income. So the properties that have income. Okay, after 10 years, like I have now 6 lawsuits. The inheritance paperwork is like 800 pages. The properties are on public auction, and it's chaos. Okay, so now I'm occupying one of the properties, which is the one that was vacant. It's a large house that's worth $500,000. Okay, that's where I'm living now, but I have no Wi-Fi, I have no electricity, I have water, I have a beautiful grill where I cook some pasta and stuff, and the fire, you know, like, okay, I have no electricity and no gas and no the water. I do have the water, but I broke the main pipe, and I installed a hose. So I have a very long hose. So I use this hose everywhere because I don't want because this house is 50 years old, so I need to change all the plumbing, electricity. Okay, so it's a lot of that. It's because I want it to be like that. Okay. But that's not my normal. Usually I would just fix this entire house in a couple of weeks, because the entire structure is good. It's just electricity and plumbing. But anyways, no, I'm not doing that. I am involved in an 800 lawsuit, which has no end, no beginning. It's crazy. And then, okay, since I'm here and I'm like speeding up things, what happens, there's a lot of moves in this lawsuit which you can check online. And okay, so the attorneys, which is like 5 or 6 of them, all they care is about their fees, because so they're doing movements and they're going to the courthouse and find because of their fees. And then they go back to all my other lawsuits, and I'm like, why? I have lawsuits in Ireland. I have the lawsuit in Ireland, I estimate it's worth like $1 billion. It's like a huge lawsuit because it's against Facebook, and it's there on the Irish court system for like 2 years. Okay, legal system. Let's say legal system, not court system. There was an attorney who already told me that you cannot say court system because it's not on court, but it's on the legal system. Okay, is that I have lawsuits in Thailand that are worth lots of money. I have lawsuits in Texas, in the USA, Florida, Brazil, and those lawsuits, I have no clue how they're. But what's the problem? Why? And why this lawsuit in Argentina has like 800 pages? Oh, because it's property here. So there is the attorneys. They know they're going to collect their fees. Because if you ask me like, why Elaine Gerber in Texas was not serviced with papers and documents about the lawsuits against her, and even the police hasn't approached her company yet. You know, like, oh, because the attorneys in America are asking me for payments, and as they do not trust that they're going to get paid, so it's all about payment. The 2021 and the chaos we live, it's all about payments. It's all about payments. My payments, the attorney's payments, the police payments, like it's everybody's payments. It's all about payment. So as these lawsuits in Argentina, they do have a payment because it's the properties themselves, which is a guarantee, it's a collateral. So what does that mean? That, oh yes, that's work. So there's lots of work and there's like 800 pages, which I was carefully working on them this morning, one by one. It's like, it's not worth telling the details about what you see there and all the people involved. The house was looted, squatted, occupied, like crazy stuff. There is a lot of witnesses that they say that the attorneys have even broken the roof of my house, so that there will be some leaking of water to show to the city that my house has problems. I mean, that's how fucked up the system is, okay? But anyways, let's go back to Argentina and the lawsuits, okay? So, Argentina is a very nice place. There's a lot of Africa. There's a lot of America here. It's a version of those Australia as well. The problem they have is that they do not speak English, and there is a big connection with the English-speaking world, but they didn't manage to change the language here. So it's a hybrid. It's a country that thinks in English, but once they want to put it on practice, it's all American Spanish. So it's pretty crazy. But in my particular case, I talk English and Italian as well because I understand Italian a lot. So as much as I can, and I manage that well. It has I would say British is a big influence here, more than Uruguay, more than Chile, more like Argentina is the country that has the biggest British influence in Latin America. And that's why I have the Falklands and this endless war of the Falklands and the Malvinas Islands and all that. But what I can, I manage to have a good time here. But the language is a big barrier, like because unfortunately American Spanish is very materialistic. It's very grounded. It's very like you pay, you get the food. So that usually is not my scene, because even in Spanish from Spain, like people wouldn't be this grounded. That's a very American Spanish. Miami is like that too. So usually people, like you would invite people for dinner and the topic of the conversation is going to be the dinner itself. Do you understand? It's going to be where did you get this pasta? Where did it cost? So you hang out with you. So it gets boring because it's always okay. I know, because usually, if you're not really into this scene, you know, like you just like, why am I gathering here? Just because I mean, when you jump into a party, like, and you see the pasta, and I said, I already know that, and if I'm not working in the pasta industry, why am I going to be talking about how much that cost, the quality, you know, like it's very simple. It's not that, but it's crazy. You know, I believe they should just speak English at some point. That does not mean to be against Ireland, because Ireland speak Irish. It's just because Irish is really very difficult, and at least English is a bit more close to Irish. But I believe it to be nicer. Maybe other languages too. French, if they speak French, maybe. I think Italian also be a good possibility to fix Argentina, because I believe it's just a language barrier. They have this language blockage here that does not allow them to prosper. You know, that's my conclusion about Argentina. And yeah, so here I am. What else? So my lawsuits. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of funny facts all the time. It's chaos. So I have one, for example, Dubai. You know, my last interactions in Dubai. Like there's the trade show there, like this past week, and then okay, so I've been interacting with everybody there at the trade show. You know, suppliers of the products I work and sell, customers. And the problem is that one of the suppliers that they already know it, but then they asked me, "Oh, did you do business with the individual slice, rapid sliced cheese before?" Like, yes, I do. I was selling Wisconsin finest cheese and White House specialty cheese from the USA for 5 years. They're servers with millions of dollars on sales, but they decided, they overpowered my company, and they started to do money laundering, fraud, corruption, and they are not doing business with me anymore. That's why I'm searching for a new supplier, because it's then, you know, I have to keep working, and there are on core, you know, the whole thing, lawsuits and police reports, the whole thing that we're waiting for American and Emirati attorneys and police officers to do their due diligence and find out what's the crack there with White House specialties cheese in Wisconsin and Wisconsin finest cheese in Texas, Plano, Texas. What's the crack that was still on? So we're talking about that. Oh no, that's the answer from the new supplier. We don't do business with companies that are involved in money laundering. And I'm like, I'm not telling you that. I'm saying, even if you're not willing to, like, that does not connect. So now I have to report the new supplier to the authority in Dubai, because it's like, this company is from Europe and they have an office in Dubai, and once they ask me why I'm not, and then I explain because I had that problem, then they say, you know what, we're not doing business with you because you have there's something missing there. So, and now they're doing ghosting, and like, okay, so I need to send this entire conversation to the police in Dubai. Look, I think you should keep an eye also with this other manufacturer, because like, what's happening, you know, like, I think they're also doing money laundering, and but then you're like, yeah, so it's chaos, you know, and chaos, and this lawsuit in Argentina is just some more evidence of that. It's like 800 pages, and I it's all the attorneys care, it's about their payments. My loss. I had a conversation with the Criminal Court of Justice in Dublin about my lawsuits there, and, you know, like, especially this one about Facebook, and I like, when they're going to move ahead with my lawsuits. And then they're like, then there was an Irish person that I copied in the emails, that this guy answers with copy to everybody. So I have nothing to do with that. Okay, that was registered as the public opinion of Irish people towards like what Facebook's doing in Ireland, because you know, once you were an Irish citizen and you are in the Republic and you lie and you service with copy, you know, there's somebody I know and everything, okay, in person, it's of friends and acquaintance. And then you like, and then you have this email there, and then you answer with copy of the Criminal Court of Justice and attorneys and everything, that you had nothing to do with that. I just, but like, okay, so that's, I read just, I mean, you're not involved at all. You're just a public you're just a person that I just added some friends there, and like, but your opinion, especially because you answer replying to everybody, is a confirmation about what the general public in Ireland thinks about the crimes that Facebook does, you know, Mark Zuckerberg does, out of the Republic, out of Dublin. And okay, it's right, it's filed. Okay, it's just one example. This guy said that he does not care, and then it comes to another point, which is the one I believe is the big picture about the chaos and the disaster of life nowadays, which is the individualism, how selfish and individualistic everybody nowadays is. And so we try to operate on that, because it's really difficult, especially talking to white people, and then you see why Italy is falling apart, why Ireland is falling apart, why America has fallen. Imagine, America is not a Republican country. It's not what it used to be. Now America is just like Venezuela or Brazil. It's just a third world country. They're facing the Bolivarian Revolution, which is okay, which is created by Hugo Chavez, and they're fine about that. They're like, you know, it's a third world country now, so how come America has collapsed? You know, how come Ireland's falling apart? How come Italy? You know, Italy, like, I've been exhaustively working in Italy for over 1 year now, and Italy has not only the individualism and the lack of empathy of each other that you have in almost every white community all over the world. It's about me, selfish individualism, but Italy also has an obsolete thing, like they're denying technology, so they keep into which is, I find beautiful. It's romantic. It's interesting on a romantic point of view, but still, you cannot survive being individualistic, selfish, and in the 60s, you know, avoiding all. I mean, the world is moving. If you do not adapt a bit to what's going on nowadays, you're going to die, and Italy is dying. You see the demographic rates are very low, all the deaths now with the virus and everything. So it's a case of bad times in history. What else? Anything else here? Okay, so St. Patrick's next week. St. Patrick's, so let's enjoy. I'll see if I do something in Buenos Aires or maybe here in Rosario. There is some Irish festivities here. The problem again is that they don't speak English, so it's a bit awkward because you try to move ahead, because usually the speed of things when they're in English is very fast, because the language allows us to be fast. So usually things in English move pretty fast, but then when you have to slow down into the Spanish, it's a bit crazy, especially when you're talking about an English-speaking community, supposedly, that they do act like English, they look like Irish, and they are celebrating something Irish, but then it's not in English, it's in American Spanish, and then it gets kind of broken, you know. But the enthusiasm is there, the passion, you know, all that, it is there. But it's a bit difficult because it's something that's going against the flow. But let's see how it's going to be. I'm going to see. I may be involved volunteering and things, so I'll see how it goes. And but anyways, there's nothing to enjoy nowadays. It's just chaos, and I'm trying to do what I can. And it's been very, very difficult. Very difficult. This year is even worse than the last year. I have some cases that are just impossible to believe, even myself, that I'm witnessing them firsthand, like impossible to believe. And I'll do maybe new videos about that. I need to make videos just about those particular cases. One of them is this house, for example, and we do another video in detail of all that. And well, greetings for everybody. I'm here. I would be doing more videos because I do like to make videos, and usually I do like to put some effort on them, like doing the editing, the introduction, the ending, adding pictures and things. But that's a lot of work, and I'm against the way social media works, and it's like this is like free work, and you working, creating contents, and my contents are high quality, and then I'm not getting paid, and, like I don't get it still. But anyways, it's chaos. Let's see what we can do there. Dark age, chaos, they are correlated. It's nothing new. They're just related. But all right, okay. Cheers and greetings from Argentina. Benactai or Argentine. Benactai of Argentine. All right, cheers.